Welcome to the RSI Recorded Webcast series. These recordings have been developed in support of the articles, blog posts, and podcast episodes that you can find at restact.com, located in our resource center. There you can also find relevant restaurant industry trends and topics such as budgeting, food costing, menu engineering, labor management, hospitality compliance, and much more. If you have any questions during the presentation, tweet them to us at RSI Operations, #BudgetThis. This month at RSI, we've been focusing on educating our clients on the value of creating a successful budget. In our resource center, we started off with an article, Budget This, which summarizes the importance of creating a successful budget strategy for your operation. We also provide a series of blog posts where we discuss the positive effect that utilizing a budget provides your guests, team members, as well as your profit. Finally, in our podcast episode, Operating a Profitable Restaurant, Budget or Bankruptcy, I touch on why we're so passionate about using budgets, and I highlight using the RSI triangle balance for decision making to drive home the point regarding the importance of utilizing a budget for your organization. During today's webcast, Budgeting Your Roadmap to Success, we're going to begin by going through some of the details for a proper budget strategy. From there, we're going to review some of the questions that we asked you in the Budget This article and discuss how you can apply our answers to your own restaurant. Each recommendation will cover the strong positive impact that implementing a budget will make on your business. If you listened to our most recent podcast, you heard me use the analogy of people running their businesses kind of like they're playing Plinko on The Price is Right. We're going to continue that analogy today. Remember, in Plinko, a contestant drops the money at the top, watches the coins bounce around all the way to the bottom, while they sit there and hope that there's some money for them at the end. Now, let's look at Plinko as this metaphor for your P&L or your income statement. Your revenue's at the top, and each bump on the way down can easily represent your various expenses, and at the bottom you've got varying degrees of profit, loss, and unfortunately bankruptcy. Follow me so far? Now, imagine that you're the lucky contestant and you're standing at the top of the game and Drew Carey suddenly hands you a diagram pointing you to a path to aim for that will give you the greatest chance of hitting the big winner, which is ultimately your profit. And there's your budget in a nutshell. One of the things that we've seen far too often is that operators try to make their budget far too difficult and getting lost in the numbers and decide to quit while they're ahead. They scrap the entire idea as a budget as a whole. It's kind of like paralysis by analysis. Here's a secret. Budgets do not have to be complicated. Stay away from the excuses and take the time to sit down and look at your operation. Build a budget strategy that's going to work for you. And once you've completed that process, it's absolutely critical to stay disciplined in the review process as it will become part of the routine. Here's a few key items that we teach our clients. Remember, these are proven to return the greatest results. Review the performance on a bi-weekly or period basis. Have each manager who is responsible for a cost center participate in the budget process. Each manager needs to explain their over or under spending for their specific budgeted categories. Be sure to use a dollar amount as the variance, not a percentage. Remember, you don't take percentages to the bank. Know your targeted costs. Use tools that will help you forecast your variance expenses more accurately. Tools like a purchase forecasting tool, a labor forecasting tool, and of course the weekly purchase journal. Let's dive a little deeper. In our February budgeting article, we asked you some questions pertaining to your restaurant and what you thought your own budget might look like. We picked out a few of those questions and answered them ourselves to assist you in getting started and creating a budget. Remember, this will be your most efficient roadmap to success. If you've already answered these questions, see how your answers compare against our own. If they're similar, you're on the right track. If not, grab a pen, piece of paper, and listen up. Let's review the first question. What are 3 areas that can potentially have the greatest impact in reducing your costs? Food cost, pour cost, and labor cost. Keeping your prime costs in line is the biggest battle that restaurants face, and you must empower your employees to assist in controlling those costs on a daily and weekly basis. This is where your management team becomes the driving force in assisting you with achieving the overall success of your organization. A weekly purchase journal and labor forecasting tool clearly identify the areas of opportunity and keep these costs in line. Without looking at a daily labor dollars and food and bar spending on a daily basis, you should absolutely plan to fail. Many restaurateurs put their head in the sand and hope the numbers change without holding their teams accountable for maintaining those margins. How will the reduction in costs for these areas impact the guest experience? Reduction in costs or keeping your spending in line will never affect your guest in a negative manner if you refuse to compromise your operations integrity. Keep the quality of the product at the highest standard. Leave room in your budget for your team. As long as your team members that are executing the service are happy and well trained, the guest will be also. Keeping enough product on hand, but not too much, and the right amount of staff on during both peak times as well as low volume times will give you the greatest chance to meet or beat your budget. Budget for aspects of your restaurant that you might think are trivial, but in fact, the guest experience is immensely affected by items such as lighting, music, and overall ambiance, and none of those will be an issue if there are none at all. How will the reduction in costs affect your employees? Employees that are inspected for what is expected will have pride in what they are doing for you and your organization. After all, you've given them ownership and responsibility for their departments. Through education, your team will understand that a money tree isn't growing outside the back door next to the dumpster. Once they learn that spending with targeted sales projections is the key to their success, then your budget versus actual is the roadmap to your success. And it shouldn't have any sinkholes along the way. Employees that contribute to the reduction of costs will turn out to be your best ambassadors. If a bonus program is in place, there's now an incentive for the team to hit their goals. After all, who doesn't like to be rewarded for their skills and talents? Promotions and upward mobility are also ways that employees can move up the ladder. How much profit do you believe that you can realistically earn from your operation over the course of the next year? In order to properly budget, you have to not only consider margins that you expect to hit for your controllable costs, but also for the fixed costs, because these costs don't change no matter whether your sales are increasing or decreasing for the business. All right. An example of this is that managers can't change what you previously negotiated for the business as an owner. They can't change what you pay for rent, advertising campaigns, maintenance contracts, or anything else that is a set expense, kind of like salaries. What you can do, however, is shift their focus on what they can contribute to the bottom line and hold them accountable for their areas of expertise. We hope that we were able to show you the value of implementing a successful budgeting strategy into your operation or multiple operations. We're here to educate and assist you with building your own budget using the same tools that we offer to our clients. If you have any questions about what we do or would like to find out some more information relevant to your own restaurant or organization, please do not hesitate to reach out to us and request a demo. Thank you and have a great day.